And I do want to move back to vulnerable.
Okay, let's do it.
So, vulnerable. Most people get scared of being vulnerable. And I would like to say, please don't fear vulnerable. Vulnerability is really only imagined. You cannot truly, in the definition of vulnerable means to be open to hurt, typically in people's minds. And I would say, if you got the first part where we were talking about trust and hurt is not getting what you want, if you don't have expectations, then the vulnerability is simply openness rather than vulnerability. So you won't get hurt. You will maybe sometimes be disappointed because you still had a slight expectation, but oftentimes people think vulnerability is this, they're going to take me up on the Mayan pyramid and cut my heart out, so I'm not revealing anything. And that's not true. It doesn't have to be that way. Vulnerability simply means to be open, to receive and share openly, not to be open to being hurt. So redefining some of these in your relationship with a different kind of perspective is also very helpful.
And if you don't have any secrets with yourself and you've spent the time to know you, you won't feel that way. You have nothing to hide. You're just simply talking. And if somebody says something about you, that's what they perceive is happening.
Right.
So, yeah, vulnerable is interesting.
Transparency
I love it.
allows you to be really just love each other for who you are.
Yes.
And sometimes it takes some adjustments, but you can. And I think most of the time in working with couples, as I have, I've seen that usually when they fight or argue, it's not because of the essence of each other, it's because of the patterning of their parents. So really what ends up happening is the patterning of their parents or the belief systems of their parents start fighting. And the problem is you believe you're those belief systems, so you think it's you fighting with your partner, but it's really your childhood programming fighting with your partner's childhood programming.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you basically have two robots that don't even know what they're doing, and their patterns are fighting. And their true essence that loved each other when they came together aren't even in the situation because they're so lost. They're literally, it's like you're possessed. Do you ever yell at your partner or your child or whatever it was and then come out of it and go, oh my God, what just happened?
What happened?
What was I doing? Why did I even say that? Because the patterning takes over. It's a very powerful hypnotic state. It is truly a hypnotic state. And just letting you know that even though we're subject to those, you can change every one of those. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
That's what we do with each other. That's what we do with others. We help people change that patterning
So they can
permanently.
have a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
And they're not in the patterns, exactly.
But then you can joke about your possessions. And you say, I was possessed by my dad today and I was a little grumpy.
Yeah, absolutely.